Make a honey ho. It is Monday again. Guess what? And now you have something to be excited for on Mondays. Us. But this is when Malcolm and myself join you and bring you, shit that we found on there. I don't know what we're bringing you. But no. We just kind of test the things we're going to be bringing you on M3 during the week. And just funny shit. But you know what? We discovered during the week that it often changes. So today you get a brand new show. How about that? So last week was our season premiere, and we had several audio issues. But today we will run smooth as a champion. Side note, personally, Malcolm, I'm super goddamn tired. The 15-20 minute delay was because of me. I was in the street. I went, I'm back on my gym flow. And
that's good.
It is. I'm just tired, my friend. So as he does every week, Malcolm will bring you the news, and I will do my damnedest to bring you comic relief. Thank you for joining us. For those on Instagram, those who are watching us on, what is it, the YouTubes?
YouTube,
we still doing, Facebook.
X, Facebook, yeah. And one of the things I would like, is anyone who's watching, give us your story ideas for the week. We got several shows coming up, so it'd be cool if you have any ideas. But I've got a newsreel from what is it? What a Day and NPR News. So we just got news.
Wait, Malcolm, before you get started though, let's not forget about where they can see you again. So if you happen to be hanging around here on a random Wednesday night, check out Malcolm at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where he will give you the business relationship. He doesn't really do news because I'm gonna take his thing and say he's kind of steering away from news. So we're doing our best, but we feel like it is important to bring you.
I think I bullshit test a lot of self-help advice, things on communication, relationships, mental health,
right?
And throw in some spirituality, and I think we ground it in experience, and we have a lot of fun with it. So
because I refuse to be serious in this heavy time.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Now, if you just cannot get enough of Malcolm and his wonderful, beautiful afro, he needs a haircut. I told you I was starting a GoFundMe. I told people that I'm sorry.
At this point, I goddamn need one. They keep going up.
Listen. You know how much I pay for? Do I need to? My haircut is $120.
No, mine's not that bad, but it doubled in price in the past 2 years. That's just sticker shock. You know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm like old bitch out there. I got to get color cut and all that other shit. So I'm hooking these streets. But it will happen. We're going to pray on it. Then please let my brother get a haircut. Please let my brother get a haircut. It is done. And if you just can't get enough of him, please join him for the Bearcast. M3 presents the Bearcast each and every Friday. And you know what? Speaking of Fridays, hopefully we have something exciting coming for you upon the future Fridays. We'll keep you posted. We're working on something behind the scenes. But if you just can't get enough of him, please join us there. And then you can join me Saturday for the Saturday Sit Down with me, Gregory, the talented Mr. Drayton. Oh, the new placard, the Urge.
Yes. Swag updated it.
Ooh, it's orange. It's orange and blue. I just thought, this show and my show are the only shows that happen in the daytime. Yeah. So I felt like it needed some daytime colors and things like that. Yeah, so you can't even see that. You can't. There's so much fucking sunshine outside. You can't even see my neon sign here. So there you go.
Oh yeah, it is.
So you pull news. Is NPR still in existence?
It is. So the Corporation for Public Broadcasting shut down, but the individual stations are still around. So they don't have any federal funding anymore, which means the vast majority of them will probably be out of business before the end of the year. And mind you, this is what happened with local newspapers. Like when I graduated from college, I actually graduated with a degree in journalism. A lot of local papers are drying up. Basically, the same thing is going to happen with NPR. NPR had NPR had the advantage of having federal funding, whereas local papers didn't. And it's kind of the same idea.
Now, you think they'll come back after the shit show the Trump presidency, or
No, I think it's won. There will still be a national public radio, but the local stations, once they're gone, are probably gone forever.
oh, thank you for the good news. I'm sad.
Yeah. Unless they figure
Wow.
out a way to make money independently.
Well,
Their money.
they're still around, and they're all having, they're all having money drives. So let's
The way that they
yeah.
typically made money was through advertising,
Yeah.
which they still do, but then they also just get donations, which they
Yeah,
probably
and they're taking donations now, and I know some like the New York stations and the bigger city stations are raising shit tons of money because it's almost an anti-Trump protest.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see if there are some sort of revitalization of local news organizations, whatever they might be, newspapers or radio or whatever.
Right. Have you watched the newsreel that you have? Do you have in your newsreel that Trump has called the National Guard to D.C.?
I do. I think it's the last story, but it's on there.
Okay, let's get started because I'm so pissed. We're in time.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it.
Escalating in the U.S. over redrawing congressional maps before next year's midterm elections. Democratic leaders across the country say they're ready to fight back against President Trump's efforts to secure more safe Republican seats. NPR's Ashley Lopez reports.
This all started with efforts in Texas to draw 5 more seats for Republicans. In response, Texas Democrats fled the state to stall the legislature's approval of a new map. In the meantime, Democratic leaders across the country are looking at ways to secure more seats for their party. California Governor Gavin Newsom wants voters to approve a ballot measure that would change their congressional map to add 5 more safe Democratic seats for the next 3 election cycles. New York Governor Kathy Hochul says she's also making plans to, quote, fight fire with fire. Ashley Lopez, NPR News.
In addition to the redistricting arguments, President Trump has called for a new national census. These are usually done every decade, and the last one was taken in 2020. The data are used to apportion how many seats each state gets in the U.S. House and the Electoral College. Trump wants a new census that does not count people who are in the U.S. illegally. But the U.S. Constitution says a census must count the whole number of persons in every state. NPR's Hansi Lo Wang says it's not clear how a new census might proceed.
According to Article 1, Section 2 of the Constitution, no president can just order a census.
It is.
Congress has final authority over the census. Now, decades ago, Congress did pass a law that allows for a mid-decade census, but we're past the timeline for that. There is a new bill proposed by Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Of course, she's hideous.
It calls for a new census, a new redistribution of House seats, and a new round of congressional redistricting, all before next year's midterm election.
NPR's Hansi Lo Wang reporting.
Yeah, so what's so funny to me about that is that doesn't really help Republicans.
It doesn't. I thought it was me. Okay, because I'm like, okay, bitch, let's go. I was like, yo, bro, like, damn. I'm like,
other than large cities, which generally just attract a lot of people, obviously, like, cities like New York and LA just attract a lot of people, including. But the vast majority of people who are here undocumented are doing like agricultural work, hospitality work, manufacturing, things like that. And those are in blue, in red states. They might have,
so their population is going to go down.
Right.
And so I was trying to tell somebody this morning. I was like,
it's like even if they're in blue states, they're in red districts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and so that's why they're getting no pushback from the Democrats. The Democrats are like, for sure. Yeah, we're living. Mr. Collins, hello. What's going on, sir? Hello to everybody that just joined us. Yeah, and this is another case where your president is an absolute asshole. And I want to know to those people, because when we're doing the election cycle last year and during last season, we had some viewers that were proclaimed proud gay Trumpsters. How's that going for you?
Yeah,
I want to know.
That's something else that kind of brought up about these redistricting is they're counting on these voters voting in the same way they did during the presidential election. There really is no guarantee about that. Like they were just saying, a lot of these people who voted for Trump might be, what they call swing voters, because they're voting in ways that no one really predicted very well, right? When you're talking about like Latinos for Trump, like most people just assume that they would vote Democratic, and they didn't. They may end up voting Democratic again. They might be going back and forth, So just consider that.
Are we
The
really
districts
gonna-
Yeah.
I don't get it. You know what? Every time somebody says that. Remember that? That makes me so much joy. Every time they complain about something, every time they can't get their way. I mean, it's a whole song. I love it.
I actually like the music. It's funny.
Me too, and like the chorus, right? and the fact that they invoke the name of the Lord and Savior. Oh my God! I'm like, oh Jesus, and they do that. I love that. I'm so continue.
Yeah. Here we go.
Today is President Trump's deadline for Russian President Vladimir Putin to reach a ceasefire with Ukraine or stop the war. Speaking to reporters yesterday, Trump didn't say much more about the deadline.
It's going to be up to him. We're going to see what he has to say. It's going to be up to him. Very disappointing.
Trump has previously said he'll increase sanctions against buyers of Russian oil if no ceasefire is reached. He's already done that with India. But Trump also says there's a good prospect he'll meet with Putin and with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Trump said he was not making a meeting with Putin contingent on Putin also meeting with the Ukrainian leader. Separately, Trump says he will welcome the leaders of the warring nations of Armenia and Azerbaijan to the White House today. He also says they are going to sign a peace agreement. Transgender people serving in the U.S. Air Force have been denied requests for early retirement after the Trump administration ordered them to leave the service. NPR's Quill Lawrence reports.
About a dozen trans service members with 15 to 18 years in were permitted to apply for early retirement with full benefits after the executive order that banned trans troops from serving openly. But according to an Air Force spokesperson, all of those applications have been denied. Despite their many years of service, they now have the same options as thousands of other trans troops, either quit or be kicked out without the significant financial benefits they'd have earned with retirement at 20 years. In May, the Supreme Court allowed the Trump administration's ban on trans people in the military to go forward, though the Pentagon has offered no evidence that their service hurt readiness or good order and discipline. Quill Lawrence, NPR News.
Super petty, because it's I guess it's about 1,500 trans service members, and 12 of them were applied for early retirement, and they blocked their early retirement. Like, they're leaving. You asked them to leave, they left, but it's like, no, you're going to leave without your benefits. So, no volume. I don't hear.
I didn't. I'm sorry. I muted myself. You know what? The military overwhelmingly voted for Trump, so fuck them. I could care less. Oh my God! You think about how you vote for Donald Trump. I don't care. Oh, I love it. And how you want to talk about petty? Talk to your fellow officers and your fellow countrymen. When you voted for this. This is what you wanted. You got it. Bitch, you done lost your job and you ain't got no pension. I love this. And I love to see when people, they wanted to go home. They wanted to get deported. They wanted to be, in Florida, wanted to lose half their economy in 6 months. This is great. Great. Because, I woke up this morning and my Monday morning was just like the Monday morning 3 months ago. You know what I mean? And nothing has changed. Mr. Kelly, good afternoon. Let's see. Let's see if people got something to say.
You got some comments?
CC, what's up? Good. I'm so good. So CC, so talk to me personally. So daytime is better for you? Is it nighttime? I don't know. I'm just joking. Mr. Kelly, how are you, sir? Hello, gentlemen. It's been a while. I apologize. No, we've been on hiatus, friend. No, you're right on time. Yeah, we were off lollygagging into the world of this and that. So no, you are on time. On time.
And the first time I got my audio right this time. So.
And me too, apparently. So this white thing that you see is I didn't realize. Well, I did not realize they're wireless, but I did not realize that I only had 3% when I started the broadcast. Woo! Yeah. I'm smart. Go ahead and keep on going.
But no, headphones help with audio quality.
They do.
Okay, let me see. Come on,
6 with your funky ass. Let's go.
The president is directing colleges that receive federal funding to share detailed admissions data with the Trump administration. The presidential memo is intended to monitor race-blind admissions in colleges. NPR's Sequoia Carrillo reports.
The president is expanding the type of admissions data that colleges are required to share with the government. In recent weeks, Brown and Columbia have agreed to multi-million-dollar settlements with the administration that include a similar condition. This memorandum seeks to expand that system to all schools that receive federal funding. In 2023, the Supreme Court ruled that universities could no longer take race into account as a specific reason for admission. The Trump administration says it needs more data to ensure that schools are complying. The move comes at a tricky time for the Department of Education. On August 1st, nearly 1,400 staffers were let go, including many data scientists. Sequoia Carrillo, NPR News.
NASA is accelerating plans to put a nuclear reactor on the moon. As NPR's Chandalise Duster reports, some researchers believe it's time, but others worry about the cost.
A new directive from acting NASA Administrator Sean Duffy calls for development of a nuclear reactor for the moon by 2030. Roger Myers is a space nuclear power expert.
It'll never happen.
He says that nuclear power is the only option for astronauts facing.
I wouldn't say never, but it's not in this administration.
The sun and batteries does not work. We're going to have nuclear power.
Myers applauds the decision to accelerate the nuclear power.
We are going to ruin the fucking moon.
Of the University of Illinois is worried the moon reactor will come at the cost of other important work.
Earth science, climate observation, space-based weather forecasting, all the kinds of things that NASA does in a public serving way for our day-to-day needs.
The Trump administration has proposed slashing those programs in next year's budget. Chandalise Duster, NPR News.
You know what's funny is,
Duster, right? Go ahead.
So we are going to the moon, and we're going to have settlements there. And the reason why,
ruin the moon.
Yeah, of course. What do you think? I mean, like we don't have much of a choice at this point because we're going to ruin this planet. But there is a mineral layer that is likely to be the next source of clean energy, and they need to actually have a established settlement there to.
Is it vibranium?
It is a metal. I don't remember what it is. It's something like cesium. It's a radioactive isotope that's only in large numbers on the moon. So anyway, but it's likely to be the fusion material that's going to be used for the next generation of.
All I'm gonna say, Malcolm, is go white people, go. Just do white shit. I don't nobody care. Y'all just do white shit. Go white people.
I think at the end of the day, the sort of technology that they're going to use there is going to trickle down here as well. It's well known that like when we create something that's just overpowered, a cheaper version of it becomes mass distributed for people. So,
but let me tell you, we can't even figure out elections. How the fuck we gonna get a nuclear reactor in 4 years?
But see,
it's almost 2026.
That's the beauty of human beings is that we both build nuclear reactors and then we also, sacrifice children to, vaccine hoaxes. So
listen,
this is the full range of humanity. Like we're brilliant.
You have a lot of emotions under that afro. I love this for you.
No, I'm just saying we contain multitudes. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, I have no faith. I have faith in humanity as a whole, but this particular 365 million people, I do not.
Well, they just said they plan on cutting their budget next year. So yeah, it's not going to happen in this administration, but it will happen when they see how much money there's to be made. Yeah, it will.
I don't know. I just wonder what years he's going to have his fatal heart attack. Who knows? See, not that daytime is better. I just remember to set my notifications. Plus, I get to start my shift with y'all. Oh,
nice.
Oh, isn't that the feed the baby? Pinch your cheeks. Come close to the camera and pinch your cheeks.
I guess the other two news stories were about peace talks with Russia and Ukraine and two other countries that I can't even remember now. There's another war going on I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, it is.
Talks. Yeah, right now.
Yeah, so guess what? Yeah, how many? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Now back here in this goddamn country,
yeah,
and I don't. So unfortunately, I don't even know where to put this. Unfortunately, the President of the United States has called the National Guard to occupy Washington, D.C. Now, Washington, D.C. has the lowest crime rate in decades, the lowest murder rate of any major city in the country at this point.
We'll talk about it in a little bit. I got a story about it. All right, let's go. And it had something to do with Elon Musk too, by the way. But
I'm sure.
Donald Trump has finally met his greatest foe, reality, and maybe dementia, but for now we're saying reality. Last Friday, the Department of Labor released a bleak monthly jobs report. The U.S. had added just 73,000 jobs in July and only 33,000 jobs in May and June combined, making this report the worst jobs performance since Ashton Kutcher. Stupid. Trump, for his part, took the news in stride.
It's a highly political situation. It's totally rigged. Smart people know it. People with common sense know it. And a lot of people like to keep their head under the covers. And
Let's move on to this. As always, we wish Biden appointees were even a fraction as scheming as Trump claims. You think this woman was rigging the numbers? This woman has gone to find a grocery store employee because she accidentally rang up an organic zucchini as a regular zucchini at the self-checkout. Trump, naturally, provided no evidence to support his claim. He fired the labor commissioner because the numbers were bad, and so they must be fake.
We're seeing phenomenal numbers. I mean, really phenomenal numbers. We'll be announcing a new statistician sometime over the next 3 or 4 days. We had no confidence. I mean, the numbers were ridiculous. It's a scam, in my opinion.
Look at this tremendous number, Trump continued, turning the calculator around to reveal the word boob. Lucky for Trump, there's a seasoned statistician who recently lost his job due to budget cuts. The economy added $1 billion. I didn't commit. The economy added $1 billion jobs. That's it. You gotta That's what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, that continues. I think we talked about that last week, but
you know, I like to, you know, when you hear things of that nature, and we are forced to report on it because we cannot leave you guys in the dark days, and so we do look for comedic ways to deliver such bleak information that we are the laughingstock of the world, that we're idiots, that whatever you thought when you voted for him is not going to happen. So, you know, it's you thought, and so somebody asked me the question, like, what are they doing now that they realize that they didn't know Trump? Yes, but they thought that it would not happen to them. So he has convinced everybody to other each other, and he's convinced them to other each other, divide and conquer. So 23% that voted for him, because those who actually sat out of the election was enough to swing the election. And so he convinced them that nothing's going to happen and he is going to be better than last time. And then he convinced, remember oh my God, I will vote for Donald Trump. I'm not going to play it again. Hold on a second. I'm not going to play it again, but remember those people? He convinced those people, oh no, I'm not talking about you, bad actors and criminals. I'm talking about those people over here. He is deporting everybody. And still, and this is really just a trick of a sleight of hand, because Obama and Biden deported motherfuckers like gangsters, and nobody talked about it. They get way bigger numbers than Trump is ever going to do, and then they got people on board to actually want to work for ICE and not Dean Cain. So, I tell you, what's the next?
Well, I was going to say for this one, as far as the numbers for the statisticians, they're not going to be able to forge the numbers the way that he wants without people knowing about it, because they said the way that these are calculated, they actually don't, the head of the agency gets it just a couple days before everyone else does, and they're locked in, right? One of the issues that this woman had, which she could have been fired for, by the way, was there was an incident where some people actually got access to the numbers a few days before they were supposed to. And something like that can really make someone a lot of money, right? Markets change based on these numbers. And so they have to secure access to it before it comes out. So even the head of the organization doesn't have access to it because it's very secure. So what they're going to do, what I would suggest if I were an evil villain, was just to cut the number of surveys that they send out every month.
Wait, so you're not an evil villain?
Make it to where no one trusts the numbers, and you can legitimately say they don't send out enough surveys to give us accurate numbers, so why should we even trust them? Which is what they're doing anyway. Which is what they're doing anyway, by the way, because they're cutting everything like to the bone. So just cut it some more and say fuck it. Anyway. Burn it down.
Right.
Be the Joker. Burn the whole thing down. Right.
Again, I am shocked to hear that you're not a dastardly villain.
Meanwhile, Trump keeps getting caught up in the reality of his friendship with America's most probably dead sex trafficker, Jeffrey Epstein. And look, we've all had friendships we regret. If I could go back in time, would I go to Cabo with those 4 9/11 hijackers? Of course not. But that's based on what I know now. Trump's deputy attorney general, who was his personal attorney until late last year, went to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell on July 25th. During the meeting, Maxwell begged the deputy AG to throw her a rope, to which she replied, "Oh, don't worry, we'll definitely have a rope for you." Then on Friday, we learned that Maxwell had been transferred from her Florida prison to a minimum security federal facility for non-violent offenders in Texas known as Club Fed, with no official announcement or justification. Said one Trump administration official, "There's nothing unusual about this. Ghislaine Maxwell simply chose to end her life. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That is for tomorrow's press conference." Now, many are wondering, could her transfer be an inducement of some kind? Yes. Of course it is. On Tuesday, ABC News reported that Ghislaine Maxwell said nothing during her 9-hour interview that would be damaging to Trump, and that the administration was considering releasing the transcripts, though officials are reportedly trying to figure out whether they can redact the document that describes Maxwell doing a big wink. According to CNN, top administration officials, including Vance, Trump's chief of staff Susie Wiles, Attorney General Pam Bondi, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, and FBI Director Kash Patel, planned to gather at the vice president's residence on Wednesday for a secret meeting to discuss their Epstein strategy. Jeffrey Epstein, of course, planned to join remotely. Vance's office denied the report, saying the CNN story is pure fiction. There was never a supposed meeting scheduled at the vice president's residence to discuss Epstein's strategy, which is a very interesting way to slam a door closed so hard it stays a little bit open. When Trump was asked about the reported Epstein dinner, he and Vance denied it.
It's completely fake news. We're not meeting to talk about the Epstein situation, and I think the reporter who reported it needs to get better sources.
Look, the whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats because we've had the most successful 6 months in the history of our country, and that's just a way of trying to divert attention to something that's total bullshit, okay?
And I wasn't even
so
excited
if he
about
just
it.
says it,
I'm
it's
invited
true.
to them all the time, said Kash Patel.
Apparently.
Holding a bottle of Sancerre Sauvignon Blanc he chose after a deeply vulnerable 15-minute conversation with a clerk at the Wine Star. Also, how about Tim Cook standing between those two fucking guys? He's there to present him with some sort of gold iPhone or something, just like kissing the fucking ring, and then you're standing there and you're like, I don't even know Epstein. Epstein? Who's Epstein? It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Good. Suffer.
Yeah.
Fucking suffer.
If I wasn't such a goddamn...
Cook, you made your bed. You sleep in it. That's right. You're standing between J.D. Vance and Donald Trump.
If
like,
you gotta
yell at the press about some
give someone a
stand there.
gold trinket to save your company billions of dollars.
Too many cords for the fucking iPhone. CNN reported Thursday that the Epstein meeting actually happened, but they moved it from the Naval Observatory to the White House, outsmarting us once again. And stay focused on Trump's failures and scandals at the same time. A ballroom the size of a...
Let it go.
Oh my goodness.
You didn't want to do the supposed ballroom that's going to take quadrillions of years.
Yeah, yeah.
He's going to take out the rose garden for a patio.
Yeah, that's there.
These roses were, well, let me just skip ahead. Fuck it. These roses were planted by our dear First Lady, Miss Kennedy.
Yeah.
And white people, again, he is poking the bear with white people. They're like, no, bitch, don't fuck with the Kennedy shit. Like, all white people are like, we believe in you, just don't do that. And so, you know, so the mayor of D.C. just made a comment, if you want me to repeat it. She says, it's unnecessary and unprecedented. Don't believe the hype. That's what she said. It just flashed across my iPad. So I'm just like, you know, we're here to report the news. Malcolm, all I can say about any of this, yet again, it's fuck them. Like I just don't know. Like fuck them all. Fuck the people in white people universe. Fuck you bitches who believed it and now are saying that you got fucked over. I don't care. I don't care if you. I mean, like, look. Unfortunately, we all have to go through. It's like Dreamgirls. I know you've never seen Dreamgirls, right?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Okay, so it's the part when her brother says to her, "Effing, we all got pain." Yeah, just fucking like, bro. And so I cared about this a lot, and so I did a lot of broadcasting. I did a lot of phone calls. I did a lot of going to rallies and please vote and talking to people that were way smarter than I am. Well, Malcolm is way smarter than me, so I always put myself in that. Everybody's smarter than me. But anyway, so, and we did a lot of talking last year. And so now all this boycotting and we shouldn't do this, I'm not doing anything because I'm done.
Yeah.
No, hear me out, bro. And my brother's like, we can't go to Target. I'm like, no, it's close. It's right there. I'm going to Target. But then it's like, we can't go to McDonald's. Nope, I need me a big breakfast. I'm going there. You know what I mean? Or we're this week we're boycotting Amazon. No, bitch. That's why I get all my shit. Now you.
Yeah, I can't do Amazon. There's a few I can't do, like Amazon and Uber. Uber is supposed to be persona non grata right now.
You're like, bitch, what am I gonna do? Fucking not go anywhere and die of not taking medicine? Like, what the fuck do you want from me? And I said this, and I say this to lots of people. Like, bitch, I should not suffer for what others did not do. You know what I'm saying? When we finish, it's a white lady who goes in on other white people. I'm going to show you this in a minute.
Yeah, we will get to it.
This bitch goes ham.
Let's just go ahead. Let's keep moving.
Go ahead.
How many unemployed workers, vaccine scientists, and dead pedophiles could fit inside there? The White House also revealed the redesign of the Rose Garden, which Trump recently paved over, covered with Mar-a-Lago-style tables and yellow umbrellas.
Bro!
Yeah.
They got pictures of the shit?
Yeah, they did.
There is hope in all of this, in Republicans' arrogance and brazenness, because believing you can dictate reality to voters when voters will ultimately dictate reality to you is hubris. Just ask two-term president and beloved national hero Joe Biden. You can fire the bean counters at the Labor Department, but it doesn't change how many people are looking for work. And you can claim tariffs punish other countries, but Americans will feel the average increase of $2,400 in costs. And a lot of people will still be hurt. RFK Jr. announced the end of 22 mRNA vaccine projects based on nonsense. This is real-life damage because the head of the HHS department denies reality. Not only does this give up the promise of so many treatments and cures, it will mean so many people who would have otherwise been autistic will now just be fucking normal and boring. I'll end with this. NPR, RIP, reported on Monday that the Trump administration is looking to shut down a satellite mission called the Orbiting Carbon Observatories. These are satellites that were designed to measure carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, but there was a happy accident, as one climate scientist described it. In how those satellites were measuring carbon, they were also creating a high-resolution map of plant growth all over the world. And that has allowed the government and private companies to use the data to map crop yield, analyze drought conditions, predict when you're masturbating, and a lot of other amazing science.
Amazing science.
It costs shy of $1 billion just to get these satellites into orbit. It costs relatively little to keep them aloft while providing data for farmers, ranchers, and policymakers that has genuine positive benefits. But now it looks like the Trump administration is going to purposefully burn up a satellite in the atmosphere rather than deal with the reality it describes. And if that is what Donald Trump is willing to do to a satellite that says things he doesn't like, just imagine what he'd do to a hypothetical pedophile with nothing to lose, with whom he shares a secret, deep, and long-lasting friendship. He might kill him and make it look like a suicide.
Yep. I mean, that shit ain't funny. It's true.
For legal purposes, a bit we're doing.
All right, let's move on to the next one. What a day.
We, of course, condemn the invasion that happened. We don't like that this is where things are, but you've got to make peace here. And the only way to make peace is to sit down and talk. You can't finger point. You can't, wag your finger at somebody and say, you're wrong, we're right. The way to peace is to have a decisive leader sit down and force people to come together.
Vice President and not very convincing person J.D. Vance appeared on Fox News Sunday Morning Futures, where host Maria Bartiromo allowed him to read directly from his talking points. Where Vance spoke eloquently about the U.S.'s role in a peace process between Russia and Ukraine. The conversation came days after President Trump announced that he'd be meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska this coming Friday. Trump noted that land swaps between Russia and Ukraine would likely be part of their conversation. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky responded Saturday that his country would not cede any land to Russia. In his interview on Fox, Vance seemed to address Zelensky's rejection of a potential land swap.
We're going to try to find some negotiated settlement that the Ukrainians and the Russians can live with, where they can live in relative peace, where the killing stops. It's not going to make anybody super happy. Both the Russians and the Ukrainians probably at the end of the day are going to be unhappy with it.
A solution nobody's happy with? Is that the art of the deal, JD? Vance went on to say that the U.S. was, quote, done with funding the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. However, the U.S. would be happy to sell weapons to any European nations that wish to get involved on behalf of Ukraine, which is kind of funding the conflict. It's possible that Zelensky will join the meeting in Alaska, though at the time of our taping Sunday evening Pacific time, it's unclear if he'd even been invited.
Yeah, I'm going to just keep going. There was Russian negotiations going
Hundreds
on.
of thousands of people took to the streets in Israel over the weekend to express their opposition to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's plan to expand the occupation of Gaza. Demonstrations were held in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, where protesters demanded an immediate end to the conflict and the release of all remaining hostages. Netanyahu told a Fox News reporter Thursday that he planned to expand Israel's offensive in Gaza.
Will Israel take control of all of Gaza?
We intend to, in order to assure our security, remove Hamas there, enable the population to be free of Gaza, and to pass it to civilian governance. That is not Hamas and not anyone advocating the destruction of Israel.
Hours later, Netanyahu's office confirmed that Israel's Security Council approved a plan to take
People
Gaza
kind of
City.
knew this was going to
That
happen.
approval stopped short of taking total control
It's just
of Gaza.
become official.
The news still sparked outrage around the world. The plan was condemned by United Kingdom Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who said it would, quote, only bring more bloodshed. Netanyahu's plan has also raised concerns from the family members of Israeli hostages in Gaza. They fear that their loved
the
ones
hostages
will be
left?
attacks. On Sunday,
Yeah,
they
there
called for
are.
a general strike next week to stop the
I think it's only
occupation
about
of Gaza.
20 living hostages.
God bless them. Wow.
Yeah. I think there are at least 50 bodies that haven't recovered, though.
Right. So again, I say to this, all those Palestine bros and sisters out there, well, we don't know her position on Palestine. What is she gonna know about Palestine? Well, you know what she wasn't gonna do, but you know what he did? He's doing it.
Yeah.
So, again, kiss my ass, please, please, oh please, kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Greatly.
Let's go. All right.
Now, if the priority is to show force in an American city, we know he can do that here. But it won't be because there's a spike in crime.
D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser appeared on MSNBC Sunday. She commented on President Trump's recent order to increase federal law enforcement in our nation's capital. Trump's interest in addressing crime in D.C. came after a former Department of Government Efficiency employee was injured in an attempted carjacking earlier this month. Following the incident, Trump ordered an increased presence of federal law enforcement in the city. He also went so far as to threaten a federal takeover of D.C. For now, the surge in federal policing is reportedly expected to last 7 days, but could be extended. Trump announced on Truth Social that he would be holding a press conference today in order to, quote, stop violent crime in D.C. As Mayor Bowser pointed out on Sunday, though, violent crime in D.C. has been decreasing over the last 2 years. City data shows a 26% drop in violent crime this year compared to last, a fact which Trump's biggest allies credited him with just a few months ago. On Sunday, the Washington Post reported that Trump authorized the deployment of 120 FBI agents to D.C. Make it make sense.
Why?
So there was a story that was making its rounds in the internet right-wing sphere that this employee of what's his name?
One
Elon
person.
Musk. Yeah, one person. And of course, the story was hyped up in some way that he said something like 10 people attacked him or whatever. It turned out to be 2 people, and they were like 15 and 16. It should be noted they were juvenile offenders. But yeah, he was carjacked by a 15 and 16-year-old.
And I hope I hope they bust him in the fucking head and made him bleed. You know what, Malcolm? Before you continue with a sensical explanation of this story, let me tell you something. everything that we discussed today does not make sense. And so I don't want to normalize. This shit is not normal. We are not talking about normal things. Please do not get it fucked up that we're talking about normal shit and normal things. I don't want you to think that. We are highlighting this shit because it's not normal. And I have to say that because if we sit here and report the news like we do year in and year out and day in and day out, because we love to do it and we love to be the bearer of good news. But this party, people, is not normal. It's not fucking normal. And I cannot stress that enough. Malcolm's smooth baritone and great laughter makes it sound fantastic. But this shit is not normal. And
it's not.
And I don't know. I just came from the gym. My knees are hurting. So I don't want to get on them. But do I need to get on my knees and like beg you? Like, do I need to start a circle jerk or whatever I need to do to beg you all? Like, don't give in to apathy. This is how I had to have a talk with myself, because I had walked away from my favorite news outlets. I ain't seen my news boo, Nicole Wallace, since last November. And I refused to watch because I feel like I was lied to. And I don't think because this is going on that this is normal. Oh, this is the normal ebb and flow of politics. No, it is not. There's nothing normal about the ebb or the flow of this politics. There is nothing normal. If you live in the District of Columbia, where I have plenty of friends and family, having the National Guard walking and patrolling the streets of an otherwise pretty peaceful city. There are 10 niggas downtown. Yeah, I said it, niggas. Downtown, or white people, or honkies, whatever, downtown Atlanta right now, carjacking somebody. It is somebody in goddamn Tupelo, Mississippi, getting carjacked right now. It's 20 essays in Los Angeles. Or it's 10 people, 10 white people in Wichita smoking meth and carjacking people for goddamn pineapples. I don't know. Make whatever you want to, but there is crime and unfortunate things all over this country. But the head of HHS pulling $500 million away from vaccines that could have saved somebody's life. See what I'm saying? Because then we get to the point where we start, and then when white people start dying, then it's a problem. But they're all going to kill off their constituencies because you're not taking the vaccine. Bitch, give it to me. If it's been passed and it's deemed safe, give it to me. But all I will say, I'm going to end it with this. My diatribe, please forgive me. But, Michael, I'm sorry. But do not think this is normal. That's it. That's all I say.
I was going to say two of the news stories that stuck with me were, one, the satellite that was tracking carbon in our atmosphere being pulled out of orbit. You know, even though it took $1 billion to put it up there in the first place, it's literally just wasting $1 billion because, you know, it's providing information that is helpful to people who grow crops, you know, countries that are trying to track, you know, things like famine and how to distribute food. Like it actually saves companies money. So you're not only wasting the $1 billion to put it up there, but the extra money that you would get because you're just trying to deny climate change. Then there was the one about Tim Cook from Apple. Honestly, he wasn't even part of the story. He just happened to be standing there when they denied that story about them having a dinner to discuss the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. He was there to present President Trump a golden iPhone or some sort of golden plaque and a dedication to manufacturing at least another $1 billion worth of components for iPhones, because he first asked him, like, you know, either you produce the iPhone in the United States or we're going to tariff the shit out of you. After he realized, like, we cannot even make iPhones in America, like that's just not a thing you can do. Here's $1 billion and a trinket so that you don't, you know, come after our company. Like, that is some mafia bullshit, right? Like,
it is, but I appreciate Tim taking the fucking bullet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way you have to look at it. Because I mean, like,
you know, I think these people know that, you know, we have to survive him. You know, and I think that's the greater story is, like, you will be gone in a while. You know, but you know, Apple and NVIDIA and Google and all these other people who are, you know, increasingly becoming ridiculously wealthy. Like the valuation amounts of these companies should be a problem. You know, it should be a problem.
But you know what? I think that is about capitalism. If you find a way to make a good $1 trillion, good for you. Let somebody else give a chance to become educate themselves, come up with a great idea, and let somebody become Beyonce and Jay-Z. Let somebody become all those people.
But that's the thing. It's not good for them, because at the end of the day, like, if you're going to make public policy, you have to consider the welfare of these companies now, rather than
what I was saying. But let me finish what I was saying. Yeah. That you are correct. But what I'm saying is that we are now taking away basically the American dream. We're taking away the path to, you should be concerned about 1% of this country holding the wealth of the world. You know, what I mean? Stuff of that. Yeah, you should be concerned about that. But they're no longer hiding the fact that they don't even want the playing ground to be leveled. I used to make a statement to people, education is the great equalizer. But now, when they're trying to take it away, they're banning books, and we are not learning from history. I made a statement last season about, dude, it took 33 days, 2 weeks, and 13 hours and 5 minutes to get Hitler.
Yeah.
For Germany to turn into a democracy, into autocracy.
That was one of the other stories in this week's recap, was that the federal government is asking for more data on how it admits its students, basically trying to make sure that they do not make an end run around affirmative action, because it's been well known that for a while people have not used quotas to increase minority participation in higher education. They've found other ways, either like income or certain just demographic markers, and they're like, no, we can't do none of that shit. If you do it, we're taking your money. They know the shit's coming, and whether or not it's actually happening or not, because these people just love to make shit up. They're just like, oh well, we looked at your numbers. You got too many black folks at your numbers.
Here's the thing about it. Like, as a person who retired from the government, and basically I did my thing for this government, and I am goddamn offended every day, and not even myself, but hundreds of thousands of people go to work every day with the American people in mind.
Yeah, they do.
We don't serve presidents. We didn't serve parties. Whatever my political beliefs were, I put them aside. I checked it at the door. I had to give money to people that didn't believe who I was as a person. I had to give money to people that didn't believe in my race. All those things, but I was there to do a job. And so, listen, and I joke and I kid, and I always say, you get what you get, but I mean this goddamn shit. You get, hopefully you'll survive it, but if you don't, fuck you. You shouldn't let apathy keep you from voting. That they can, only way they can take something from you is you don't fight for it. And that's. But listen, anyway, let's move on to some.
Yeah, we got some funny stuff. I'm just gonna play. I don't know which one is which, so I'm just gonna play one, and we'll just go.
Okay. Imagine if black women all across the world stopped buying hair products for 1 month, just one. Here's what would happen day by day. We'll never guess what happens by day 30. Day 1, major retailers panic. Beauty supply stores, Amazon, even Tesco and Target see a dip. They start calling emergency meetings and wondering if it's a boycott. Day 2 to 4, Korean and South Asian owned distributors start calling store owners and wondering what's going on with these orders. Meanwhile, social media is flooded with DIY hair care tips, product swaps, and natural styles. Day 5 to 7, stocks start sitting still and weekly targets are getting missed. So online stores try and do flash sales, but black women aren't budging. Days 8 to 12, media picks it up, think pieces drop, and news segments with headlines saying black beauty dollar disappearing, and those influencers, the ones who were silent, they start picking sides. Days 13 to 17, some beauty store owners start posting public apologies, Others double down. We've always supported the community. And a few offer black brands better shelf placements out of fear. Days 18 to 21, smaller black-owned haircare brands start to see a surge. Those ones who are still handmade and sell directly to consumer. Instagram and TikTok lives are flooded with founders, recipe sharing, and real talks about ingredients. Days 22 to 25, big brands start panicking. Emails start going out to their multicultural consultants. Marketing teams rush out apology rebrands. We hear you, we see you. Basically, just buy us again. Days 26 to 29, store revenue between the US and the UK beauty sector drop millions. You guys are making me want to start a revolution. Investors start to notice, product managers and retail buyers get fired. Quiet calls start to go out. Can we partner with black founders now? Day 30, a full month later, and it's clear. The black beauty consumer isn't just a niche. She is the market. And for once, she knows it. We talk about power, but if we decided to actually use it, like are you deep in that? Game over. Follow if you're done watching passively. We decode the myth, and we don't clap for crumbs.
Absolutely, that caught my attention, and I was just like, because I'm not a black woman, but
yeah, the black people
to look this way.
Yeah, we have power that we spend if it can be directed that way. Yeah.
Right. So listen, I want you to go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was going to go on to the next one, but
oh no, wait a second. And so just take that, take that hypothetical but very real scenario and apply it to everyday life. But again, I ain't boycotting shit. If I use it, I'm gonna go buy it. Go
I was going to say that's the problem, is that we don't act as a monolith. But it is good. It's a good thought experiment to remember how much power we actually have. So move on to the next one.
Want to talk about reading? Let's talk about reading.
I've had it with white people that triple trumped.
Yeah.
That have the nerve and the audacity to walk into a Mexican restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, an Indian restaurant. I really genuinely believe that if you triple trumped, then you are all about preserving the lack of culture in white America that has led us to where people go and Bible thump with their AR-15s. Like, that's the only thing that I see when you get all white people together in the United States. There's no culture at all. So they have to go borrow culture from people. Even the word woke, they've borrowed from black culture. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel. Quit watching NBA basketball. Quit watching sports that are dominated by African Americans. Quit going to Mexican restaurants. You want white culture, you go fucking live in it. But do not participate in any of the shit that makes America cool. And what makes America cool is multiculturalism. And if you want to triple Trump, and you want to browbeat DEI, and you want to browbeat gay people, and you want to browbeat black people, as you've been doing for 400 years, and you want to browbeat this generation of immigrants that come over here and open up businesses earnestly, pay their taxes. You want to demonize them and call them rapists and felons and all this shit, when the felon is the teeny weeny mushroom cock piece of shit, Kankles McTaco tits at the top of the ticket. I have fucking had it from top to bottom. White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel, because nobody wants to see your fucking smug ass, teeny weeny, pink arm, big gut around. Nobody wants to see that shit. No one.
I don't know who the fuck this bitch was, but I love you. I love you.
Oh God, she went there.
You're my spirit animal, lady. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna try to find you. Because I follow her, and nothing but truth. No lies detected there.
Oh my God.
She just kind of broke it all the way the fuck down. Like, bitch, yes, that is it. That is just it. That is it. She hit it on the nose. You look like you want to say something about it, right?
Yeah, no, I was going to say that is something that white people have done is stolen culture generally. It's a feature of American. I mean, yeah, it is bad.
Well, they took a whole country and said we found this.
Yeah,
millions of goddamn Indians were living here, but you show up with your white ass and Spanish ass. Oh, look what we found. You can't find. That's like you walk into my living room and I'm like, oh, I didn't know it was a house here. And now look, I now have this house. Nigga, fuck you. That's what I'm saying. Hold on, Sammy wants to say, I need my TCBY Jerry Kerr activated spray. I don't know what he's talking about. Come on, Sammy. Listen, you voted the right way. You did what you needed to do, bro.
Yeah. All right. Okay. We got one more. All right.
President Trump calling for the prosecution of Beyonce.
And now a response from Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Don't come for me like that. I've got a big old bag. Don't you ever for a second think we'll forget your pedophile tag.
She's right.
Oh,
Queen
God.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you Queen Beyonce.
Oh, y'all are too fucked up. I'll do too much.
Listen. Love you. I love this too. I found them when women went on vacay. She calls Trump a fat titty baby, calling Mike Johnson a DL gay dude, sharing porn with his son. Yeah, that's true.
That is so true.
She ate and left no crumbs. And damn it, man, what are you sucking on? I'm not watching, so all I hear is wet mouth. I know. I'm sorry. I was drinking cherry juice. My fault. Sorry. I thought I had the mute button on, but I did not. I'm sorry.
No, that's it.
My biggity bad. We have reached that time in the show.
Yeah.
Did it again. Yep.
This time I actually did make a Patreon link. Last time, I'm sorry that we usually don't do Patreon. I don't know if you have time to do it, but
I do not. But I got a few minutes to spare. Go ahead.
Okay, but yeah, we want to ask you if you are a fan of M3 to go become a patron. I still got to put like 2 more books up there. I got the end of the Patternist series. I just finished it, and yeah, you know, we got plenty of adult entertainment, and I'm always looking for new ways to thank our patrons. You know, and we have a VIP room, all that good stuff, and of course after shows when we have time. So I think we have time. We're gonna go to after show now.
Yes.
All right. Well, we will see you in a little bit. Bye. I'm just gonna put this up there. Yeah,
leave that right there. It's from. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Remove.